Welcome, 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 WIDU listeners. You are tuning in to Pwc Connections for the month of February. In fact, it's February 9th, 2026. I am one of the hosts for today's show. My name is Lamont Henson. I am a community relations specialist. I'm being joined by my co-host, Miss Sharon Carvin, a customer service supervisor. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Lamont.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
You staying warm?
I'm trying to stay warm. Looking forward to some warmer temperatures later in this week, but for the most part, I'm doing good.
You and me both. It is brisk outside, to say the least. Today's conversation, we're going to be talking about our award-winning water distribution and wastewater collection system at PwC. A lot of people really may not even be aware that PwC provides multiple services. I know we're often recognized for our electric service, but PwC offers 3 utilities, and that is electric, water, and wastewater. And joining us in the studio, we're so fortunate to have him in here, is Mike McNeil. He is formerly a water resources collection systems inspector, but he has been promoted to a senior project coordinator. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thanks for being able to join us. I know you're a very busy man. You got a lot going on, so I'm very grateful that you were able to join us. And also, one of our water resources treatment plant coordinators, longtime colleague of mine. He worked with us whenever we do PwC Day and give a tour, Mr. Keith Young. Good morning, Keith.
Good morning, sir.
Thanks for being here. Excuse me.
You're fine. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, he's grown his beard out. He's got a little face fur to help stay warm. I need to
Definitely.
I need to get mine going a little bit better. Yours is nice, man.
Appreciate it.
So I want to let everyone know, listeners, first off, PwC received the 2025 North Carolina or NC1 Water Awards, 2 distinct awards. One was for our water distribution center. In fact, we were the Water Distribution System of the Year winner, overall winner. And we also received the Wastewater Collection System of the Year award for having a large system. These are 2 highlights that show PwC continues to deliver safe, reliable, and affordable water and wastewater services to Fayetteville and Cumberland County. And these 2 gentlemen play a pivotal role in us receiving that award and continuing to provide those exceptional services. So I want to allow our audience an opportunity to get to know them a little bit and get more familiar, and then we'll get more into the conversation and hear about how we receive those awards and kind of what they do on a day-to-day. So I'm going to start with you, Mike. Okay. Then I'll swing it over to you, Keith. If you would, tell us a little bit about your background with PwC and some of your professional experience, and talk about your roles and responsibilities.
All right. Well, like Lamont said, my name is Mike McNeil. I've been at PwC 22 years. This week, matter of fact, February 2nd was my hire day, so yeah, just
Happy
completed
anniversary.
22.
All kind of things to celebrate.
You got that right. But I started here. My first 3 or 4 years, I did clearing the easements, wastewater and water easements.
Okay.
Then I moved to collection system inspector, which at PwC, we do a lot in our inspection department. We're over the flow monitoring system, which is new technology to a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
Monitors the flow of the wastewater all the time, helps detect spills and stuff before they happen. The state mandated inspections, whether it be structures, pipes supported over creeks and streams, pipes bored underneath, we bored one underneath the Cape Fear River, even force mains. Anything the state requires us to look at, that was my duty for many years. Okay. Keeping tabs and all that, make sure all is good.
Sounds like a real dirty job.
It can be.
Okay.
It can be. But they provide all the good stuff. The gloves, the suits, you know. You
gotta have that PPE.
You go home clean.
Yes,
That's
yes.
right. That's right.
For sure. So all that experience, how does it continue to gear you up to be prepared for the next thing? Like as I mentioned at the top of the introduction, you just promoted to senior project coordinator.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
I'm still learning that. This is a new role.
Sure.
I'm excited about it. I loved what I did for a long time, and I was almost hesitant, but I knew it was time. It was time to move forward a little bit. I spent a lot of years doing that, let somebody else take the reins on that. I've trained a couple good guys, and supervisor role, I think it's going to fit me pretty good. It's pretty exciting. I like to make some decisions now, you know what I mean?
There you go.
Be part of things.
Let your leadership skills shine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Keith, I'll swing it over to you. Same thing. If you'll tell us a little bit about your time, background with PwC, some of your professional experience, and what you do on a day-to-day.
All right. Keith Young, I've been here 18 and a half years. I worked in sewer construction for 2.5. I was more on the sewer side, working on mains, leaks, water, like the weekend call in water leaks. And then promoted up to the Cross Creek wastewater facility. And just an operator, 12-hour shifts. Basically making sure the plant's running. And then I was promoted to senior, which then they changed roles and that made them into a coordinator. And basically I've got 8 guys that are under me. We're monitoring the plant, making sure the pumps are working, the flows are working, and making sure the requirements for the state, because we are monitored by the state, making sure we're meeting all them at all points of the process.
Yeah. Now, you truly have a dirty job.
Well, like Mike, it can be. Yeah.
Well, my engineer's telling me we're bumping up against our first break, so we will take that and we'll come right back and ask these gentlemen a couple more questions. You're listening to PwC Connections on WIDU Radio.
Bless the Lord. I'm Dr. Ann T. Newell, pastor of the Soul Harvest Apostolic Church, the church not just there in the community, but there for the community of Spring Lake, North Carolina. We're looking for more than a few good men and women to join the team. Iron sharpeneth iron. We may have what you need. You may have what we need. Catch the vision. Join the team. Join Wake Up.
I'm Pastor Jerry D. Swinney from Bethel Christian Assembly at 1065 Progress Street here in the city of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And you're listening to Wake Up.
This is Pastor Neil of the New Covenant Christian Faith Church Ministries, 5427 Murkison Road, and I am proud to be a member of Wake Up.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is PwC Connections on WIDU Radio. You're listening to today's episode. Your hosts, Lamont and Sharon. We have Keith Young and Mike McNeil in the studio as our guests today. We're talking about our award-winning water distribution and wastewater collection system at PwC. These gentlemen play a very instrumental role in making sure not only does services flow and are reliable, but as you can see, they're award-winning. Sharon, I'm going to pass it over to you so we can get to know what they do a little bit more.
All right. I certainly can start off with the first one. So whoever wants to take this, why is it important for customers to understand how water and wastewater systems operate?
I believe it fosters a little responsibility within themselves when they learn that their daily activities do impact the system, whether it be throwing stuff in the drain they shouldn't or things of that nature. They start to learn, hey, I've got a part in this too, and it just shows how their day-to-day lives do impact it, and the water quality and ecosystem is all part of this, keeping it clean,
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's, if they know what they're putting in, how much work it takes to get it out, and it just keeps the stress off of the system.
That's
A
right.
whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, we may cover this later, but what are a few things that they may put in the drains that shouldn't be put in the drains? Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, I know as far as once it gets to the plant, you got grease and flushable wipes. They're the two most terrible things in the system. Just because it says flushable doesn't mean it needs to go in the system.
And since we're on the air for everybody to hear, I'll go ahead and tell you, a lot of places they don't know, so I'm not calling them out, but facilities like to throw, they have large wipes, and whatever they're using for, it's causing a lot of overflows and backups in the system. So that's just a piece of information to put out there.
Now-
Larger wipes, maybe throw in a trash can.
we say this all the time. We got the catchy little sayings, the keep wipes out the pipes
Yes.
and cease the grease.
Mm-hmm.
But let's really dive a little deeper into that, because I really don't think that the general overall public believes us, especially with the wipes being sold in the grocery store, and on the packaging it says flushable wipes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times out of sight, out of mind. So once it's flushed down the commode, if they don't see an immediate backup, or they don't have to get the plunger out to stop things from going down, they think there's no real issue. But talk about how much of a true nuisance that can be.
Well, we have like nursing homes and things that use a large number of wipes. And sure, it leaves their facility due to pressure, but once it gets in our lines, it will find a bend or a turn where it likes to build up. And we actually have what we call hot spots, places we, on a regular, once every month, if not before, have to check and bring big heavy machinery out there, big trucks, and clean these lines constantly because they're backing up. So it does stress us a little bit, because these are guys that could be doing other things, their normal routine work, but they're taking off to come do these preventative measures because, you know, I mean, people have been told, I'm not sure how aware they are, but it does put a stress on the system.
So you guys know who the repeat offenders are.
We're aware of many, yes,
Yeah.
and we've kindly spoken with them, but we have a great relationship with the customer base, so, you know, you do what you can.
Yeah, you try to avoid assessing a
want
penalty
conflict.
or
You
some
don't- yeah, oh, yeah,
consequence.
of course. Yeah.
That's a part of us really being the hometown utility. But
Right.
sometimes you really got to slap people's hands so they can get it.
Sometimes, yes. You know,
Yeah, and then as far as the plant, it gets in pipes, clog up the bar screen so the water won't flow. Excuse me. Then you have that equipment that gets tore up, and we just can't go to Lowe's and buy a pump that's going to replace that. It's got to be a specialty pump, and it takes now after COVID, it takes months to get to lead time. So
Yeah.
you've got downtime, you've got personnel time that's put into it, and it's just, if everything flows, it's cheaper to run. The manpower's cheaper. You don't have to pay that, which also goes into people's bill. You know, you potentially save money there.
Right, keeping the rates as low as we can.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Now, we offer a fat trapper. The fat trapper is one of these small little contraptions where for folks who are frying, cooking in the kitchen, you have excess grease. A lot of times, I'll say for my mother, my grandmother, they used to have this big coffee can, the Maxwell House. You pour the grease in there. So to avoid that, now we have these fat trappers. They come with reusable bags. Once it fills up with grease, you can seal it up and just drop it in your trash can. But a lot of times I think people feel because it's hot and liquidy, it's okay for it to wash away down the drain when they're washing dishes or washing out their pan.
right. That's the problem. It is hot and it is liquidy until it goes 800, 900 feet down the line. Now it's cold and turns to a solid. And then other people's rags are catching up on that, and then the next person's grease is catching up on that. And it just snow. But the biggest thing we try to avoid is sanitary sewer overflows. And if we could cut this down, it would probably cut our overflows in half.
How often do you think we have, I say within a month, would you say you have a sanitary sewer overflow?
We've been doing good with the flow monitoring system and the new smart covers we've implemented. Anything reportable has gone down dramatically. You know, the smart covers show they hang in the sewer manhole in key areas that we've had problems in the past. And when the flow starts to rise, that thing will send an alarm off. And we'll have a truck out there, guess what? We'll have a mail, here it comes, but we stop it before it gets on the ground. And what you don't want is to get on the ground. And even worse, running into a natural water source. That's when the problems occur.
Yeah. What can you share about those smart covers? I want to shout out Misty Manning and Mike Smith. They recently gave a presentation to the board talking about some of that new technology.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, I'll also shout out me and Matthew Blackburn. We were there from day one on these smart covers.
There we go.
But, well, like I say, anywhere we've had an overflow in the past, we've got all the records, you know, state requires it. And if it's a one-time off thing, it's whatever. But if it's due to a pipe that's in poor condition that we haven't budgeted in to be repaired yet, or just a a large restaurant chain is on this road and it dumps, there's a grease issue. We'll put smart covers along this line, and they constantly monitor, and they're sending emails unless it's an alarm. I think they send emails every 15, 20 minutes, unless there's a high alarm. It'll let you know if it's not communicating data. It'll let you know if the water's rising. I mean, it goes as far as letting you know temperatures. But people know now when something's going on. You get phone calls. In the night, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Somebody get boots on the ground, get it looked at.
Always trying to be innovative, stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, one other thing I thought about when he was talking about the grease traps and stuff is, restaurants might not purposely be doing it, but because of their grease trap in the ground that's not working properly, just need to remember that could potentially cause them trouble.
And
You bring us to a great point, Keith. What do you think, I don't know if it's something we can do, or I know customers are so often caught up in their day-to-day lives. They're worrying about, their family and their homes, their jobs, things of that nature. But what can be done in order for them to be more informed about our water services and the water quality, and what they can do to make the overall job easier as well as the community more safe?
Well, I think, like, if I understand what you're asking, and like we're talking about, just be careful what you're putting in the toilet or any drains, and even kids, they put stuff down there too. So,
Right.
Maybe make it a family conversation.
Yes.
You just mentioned about
yeah.
children too
Mhm.
in the house.
Oh, yeah.
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 Tune in to these local, things we have going on, the radio stations like this, the TV and the internet. PwC's got tons of outreach. Very transparent. They're always letting you know when something's going on, when something went down. People love to get involved if the water goes off for 20 minutes. But other than,
Yeah.
But there's other things they can do to help too. It's a team, it's a community. Let's all work together.
That's right. What are some of the things that you feel like are eye openers? Like when you guys give tours at the plant, or when we do a PwC day, what do you think is the eureka for some people? What do they seem like they didn't know, but once they go through their tour, they kind of get it?
Some things is the size of the equipment, of how much flow we have going through. Some is the light bill a month to be able to run that equipment. And then also we've got pictures where rags were built up on bar screens that we show them to show exactly what happens to all them flushable wipes. And just probably more what really goes into cleaning the water.
Now, you both shared your years of experience. What advice would you give to someone who might be interested in getting into a career in water resources?
Well, I think the best thing about PwC is, like me, I came in, I was a land surveyor. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I came with minimal experience. But if you come in with some good work ethic and a teamwork-oriented mindset, and you show you're here to work, you do a good job, they'll help you move up. They'll send you to classes. They'll help you get your state certifications. I mean, I got my grade 2s to get the collection job. And they put me through. I got my 3s and we got my 4 collection and distribution to get the supervisor job. So if you aren't fortunate enough to go to college, there's still careers out there like this that make sense. You can make a good living off of them, working hard, learning a good trade.
I always say, where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, yeah, and I agree. PwC is a good place to work. I mean, they, like you said, they'll send you to school to do whatever, especially if it's something that you're interested in your job that you can potentially move up.
Yeah. So for all those listening, you may be interested, please feel free to go to our website, faypwc.com, to get more information. It's February now, coming up very soon. We're going to have our summer intern programs. You can get an opportunity to work in multiple areas within PwC. My engineer has made me aware that we have another break coming up, so we will take it and be right back with Pwc Connections on WIDU.
This is Pastor Sarah Alford of Joy Fellowship Outreach Ministry, and you are listening to Wake Up.
The White House moving to attempt to contain a bipartisan backlash over the video clip portraying the former president and First Lady as apes. Former North Carolina Congressman Patrick McHenry says there's been a different reaction from members of Congress. The state legislature is still working on a budget, educators pushing for it to include raises and other job improvements. Town officials have announced they've started refilling Lake Lure. The mayor there says it has to be done by Memorial Day for the town's economic benefits. As the U.S. celebrates its 250th year, North Carolina commemorating this important historical marker with commemorations throughout the state. If you haven't visited all 7 districts in Wilmington, you're not alone. A free trolley service has made it possible to visit more of those distinct locations. And a new snapshot is revealing that employers are hiring less people over the next 4 months. Tony Rixby, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. You're invited to join the city for a community meeting to discuss the Murchison Choice Neighborhood Initiative. They have partnered with the Fayetteville Metropolitan Housing Authority to reapply for HUD's Choice Neighborhood Implementation Grant. That transformative grant will help revitalize the Murchison neighborhood by redeveloping Murchison townhouses and Elliott Circle into vibrant, mixed-income communities. They will discuss the Choice Neighborhood Transformation Plan, the implementation grant process, and anticipating timing and steps post-award. Public and community input are crucial. There is a public meeting set for Thursday, February 12th, 5 until 8 p.m. This is at Senior Center East at 917 Washington Drive. Cumberland County Schools say congratulations to Manzel Spencer Jr., a social studies teacher at Douglasburg Middle, for being named the 2026 Sandhills Regional Teacher of the Year. He is one of only 9 educators across North Carolina to earn that honor. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
As high pressure continues to build into the area, we'll have dry conditions for our Monday. A cold start to the day, then slightly warmer temperatures this afternoon. It will be even warmer by Tuesday. Mostly clear to start the day with temperatures in the upper teens and low 20s. This afternoon we'll reach the mid-40s to around 50 degrees with lots of sunshine. Then we'll drop to around freezing by Tuesday morning before reaching the mid-60s by the afternoon with lots of sun. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the Weather Center.
Wake up, catch the vision, join the team. This is Pastor Reginald Johnston of My Father's House Christian Church right here in Fayetteville. We want you to wake up and join the team. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It's good when we come together. We're one body, many parts. We desire that you wake up and join the team. It's good to be a part of Wake Up. Wake up, join the team. We will see you in Jesus' name. God bless you.
We're back. This is Pwc Connections on WIDU Radio. I'm one of today's hosts, Lamont Henson, being joined by Sharon Carvin. Our guests today, Keith Young, Mike McNeil. We're talking about our water system, water services, the collection system, winning awards, all the great things happening at PwC. We've had some great conversation. If you're just now tuning in, please know that you can go to the WIDU 1600 Facebook page. They also have a YouTube channel and get caught up on the conversation that you may have missed. This will also be reshared on the PwC Facebook page as well. Sharon, I'm going to pass it over to you and ask away.
All right, sounds good, Lamont. So this question is going to be for Mike. I know you shared some information earlier about the smart
covers.
Smart covers, and that was a new one for me. How extensive is PwC's wastewater collection system?
I feel it's definitely one of the larger systems. We have over 1,400 miles of sewer, over 90 lift stations, thousands of sewer manholes. It's a lot to maintain. I thought we've done a good job.
Yeah.
It's a big system.
Now, for those who don't know, a novice, what is a lift station?
Well, sewer mains are gravity fed. Everything flows downhill. You know, they're laid at a grade, but they're developing areas now that are already below grade where you can't flow the sewer. It's already too low. So everything flows to a facility that's got a wet well that fills up with waste. And when it hits a certain point, it's got a machine that pumps. It could be miles away to get back on grade and get back into a gravity line and flow like it should. Yeah. So if those go down, it's a problem. But doing pretty good.
Yeah. Especially with the weather being what it has.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, let's talk about that. Did the recent winter ice storms, did it impact you guys in any way, Keith?
Well, as far as at the plant, we were lucky. We didn't have much trouble, but we had guys that stayed there all weekend long, you know, because just in case somebody couldn't get in, because we are 24/7. So, but as far as, we had a few pipes bust, but it was just water lines. It wasn't major.
Yeah. That's something I think some people take for granted and may not realize. You truly are 24/7. There's no Christmas off, no Thanksgiving off, no New Year's off, no it's Sunday, time for church. Someone has to be there.
Yes, sir. We just can't close the gates until Phil would quit sending us water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That in itself shows true commitment.
Exactly. And you have a passion. Just listen to you talk and explain this to the listeners and your passion for what you do. I think that's speaks volume.
Now, Keith, what happens to the wastewater once it reaches, easy for me to say, Cross Creek?
Well, basically, we just clean it up. We basically get the sand and any the flushable wipes and things that we've talked about that'll float. We basically get that stuff out of the system. Then it goes through a biological process that gets all the solids, the what we call bugs, the microscopic organisms. They'll take care of all the solids that are coming in, and then it'll go out and we'll chlorinate it, which would kill any pathogens or anything that's in it. And then there's like a detention time that it has to meet, and we're testing it through the system, and then we take that chlorine out, and then it goes back to the river, and it goes back definitely cleaner than what's in the river.
Yeah. Now, see, that's one of the you hitting all the hot buttons for me. The town of Fuquay Marina has recently put in a request for an inter-basin transfer where they want to take 6 million gallons a day from Cape Fear and funnel it into the Neuse River. And the big issue that we have with that request is that they just want to take the water without returning it. And that's one of the key things that needs to be altered within their request. In the same way that we can treat water and then return it to the Cape Fear River, they too should be able to find a way to do the same thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, my opinion as well. Yeah.
Got anything, Sharon? Because I'm about to go. I'm rolling.
Oh, no, you go. Take it away.
We have our annual changeover coming up. When you were talking about some of the solids, some of the healthy bugs or things of that nature, how does that impact you with the water changeover?
Well, with the water changeover to mine, that's a distribution part of it. So it really doesn't affect us.
Okay.
It's just, we might get some phone calls wanting to know why hydrants are running or, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the changeover really doesn't affect us that much.
I'll talk a little bit more about that in the last segment. So we just wanted to touch on it. For regulation sakes, what are some of the regulation guides that the treatment operations have to adhere to? You were talking about how we have to adhere to the state. What are some other things that you're always mindful of?
Well, you say that and a bunch of things come to mind, but the biggest thing is it is a biological process. So we have bugs that need the oxygen to be able to take care of the solids. But the biggest thing is our effluent. We've got a certain number of chlorine that we can't put back in the river, so we have to meet that requirement. We've got to have a certain amount of reduction, volatile reduction in our digesters from the sludge. We have a DO, which is a dissolved oxygen requirement that's got to go back into the river. So pH as well. We can't go below 6 on the pH. So it's constantly being monitored.
Yeah. Sounds like you could be a biology teacher once you're done with this, man.
Not me.
Mike, what are some things you believe that would surprise customers about what entails with your job?
Well, honestly, I think it surprises them how much of an impact their daily activities have on the system. A lot of people just think, well, like you said, it goes down the drain, it's out of my hands. But a lot goes into making a very clean, the drinking water, a clean ecosystem within our community. and it's just all of us. I think if everybody realized their part being small multiplied by how many customers we have is the biggest part, biggest responsibility of the system, you know.
Yeah.
I think if they felt that, they'd get a little more responsibility and feel pride, a little more pride with it.
Being that you both have done this for so long, what keeps you passionate? What keeps the job interesting?
It's always changing every day. I mean, the weather plays an impact. Just infrastructure plays an impact. Some of it's getting old, news going in. It's just every day is a new adventure. There's something, you know, changing, and I like that.
Yeah.
Even with this new job, part of it is now in the office, but I do still get to go in the field and see what's going on hands-on. So I enjoy it. It's never boring.
Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like you were mentioning the storm not too long ago, the ice wasn't so impactful, but the temperatures that we had when the snow came, I mean, we had 22 water main breaks.
Wow.
Yeah, and people were on them. Even with the 6 inches in some areas, 4 inches of snow in some areas, we were out there. And some people had 80, 90 hours on their paycheck that week, but
Cha-ching.
got them done, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and like Mike was talking about, you know, it's a reactive process. We don't know what's coming in. You know what I'm saying? So if the flows go up, we have to do certain things. If they go down, so it's always a challenge. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring or today. You know, or 15 minutes. You know, pump might go down. You know, so and then we are getting like new equipment. So trying to learn that equipment and different personnel and stuff. So it's always a gamble of how the day is going to go.
Sure. And Sharon, from a customer service standpoint, how do you think this information gets relayed to the customers, or how does it hit your area?
So definitely going back to the water main breaks, you know, when customers are out of water, they're, of course, calling customer service if it's during our normal working hours, and just sharing that information as the team maybe provides it to us, or our communications team provides it to us. We can, of course, relay it back out to the customers, but we can be rest assured that we have persons like Mike and Keith that are working to get the water services back on, and hopefully not have any type of sewer backup. So I think this is great information to be shared with the team. I would like to ask if either one of you have something that maybe that we didn't cover that customers just listening could important takeaways, maybe something that we haven't covered that kind of makes them stop and think like a light bulb. Oh yeah, I heard that on WIDU. Let me not do this.
Well, you said something about the tours earlier. One thing that I've heard a couple people say that they thought all the storm drains come to the plant. And well, that's not the case. That's where it goes to any creeks or streams beside the road, ditches, and a lot of the plastics and stuff that are there are going to the streams. It's not coming through the plant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's one thing to kind of point out.
You know, some people believe wastewater and stormwater are one and the same.
Right.
Yes.
What would you say the differences are?
Well, I guess years ago, early infrastructure, you know, be it before PwC, that's probably how it was. It just went to the creeks, from the houses straight to the creeks. But I think there is a bit of confusion. I know we get calls a lot of times, you know, this thing's bubbling up on the side of the road, and the city takes care of the storm water. We take care of the wastewater. Obviously, the wastewater is all household, business, contained. It's a completely contained system. Whereas stormwater, it runs through creeks, it runs down the side of the roads into the gutters, which, mindful, it needs to remain clean too, because anything you throw in there, any trash that gets washed in there is going straight to back to clean drinking water.
Yeah. All right, we're getting ready to take our last break, and then we'll come back, wrap things up, give some key reminders for our listeners. This is PwC Connections on WIDU Radio. Thanks for listening.
Wake up, catch the vision, join the team. This is Pastor Reginald Johnston of my Father's House Christian Church right here in Fayetteville. We want you to wake up and join the team. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It's good when we come together. We're one body, many parts. We desire that you wake up and join the team. It's good to be a part of Wake Up. Wake up, join the team. We will see you in Jesus' name. God bless you.
I'm the thread that's already inside the house. But I'm the thread of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Secure. Learn how to make your home safer. And familyfire.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Radio. Yes, Mike McNeil and Mr. Keith Young. Thank you too, Sharon. Before we get out here, I want to allow our listeners to get a couple key reminders. Coming up in March, we have our annual water treatment changeover. This happens annually every March, and it's in accordance with the state regulations where PwC changes our water treatment process. This is to help the overall water quality. It is only done briefly, so the other 11 months they run it the normal way. Customers may recognize that there is a slight change in taste or odor. There may even be a slight change in the color. It may be some bubbles, but please know that the water still remains safe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to our customer service at 910-483-1382. But again, the water is completely safe. For those who are maybe dialysis patients or fish owners, you could pre-treat your water with some chloramines during this time, but again, the water is safe. I also want to touch again on the interbasin transfer request. So I'm urging listeners to please take action. You can submit written comments to the Division of Water Resources, a woman by the name of Maya Holcomb. Her email address is Maya, that is MAYA Holcomb, HOLCOMB @EQ She will be accepting comments all the way until April 1st. If you need help tailoring your comments or you want to get more information about what you're just now hearing about, please feel free to go to our website, faypwc.com. It is the first thing in our header. You can just click that, get more information. I believe there's a petition also going around. This is one of those things where you don't want to be on the back end or the request goes through and people didn't know anything about it. So we're going to continue to talk about this as much as we can to just spread awareness, and hopefully it will make a difference. I can't say it enough. I also want to talk about some of the resolutions and awards. So we talked about how we were the winner of the overall wastewater collection system award from NC1 Water and also having the best overall system. But we also received the award for Public Power Award of Excellence. We are a 7-time Reliable Public Power Provider Award winner. And we also received an award, the Gold Award, for Exceptional Utility Performance from the Association of Metropolitan Water Agencies. So just know, so often people take for granted having a utility like PwC, in my opinion, and it is not just the run-of-the-mill, or we're just trying to, stay with the standard. We're trying to exceed the standard and have exceptional services on all area, not just one. Hence why we have these gentlemen here to talk a little bit about it. Please know you can stay informed of what's going on with PwC, not only by listening to our program here on WIDU, but you can also sign up to receive an electronic newsletter, so to speak. You can stay informed on your hometown utility, and it can be convenient. We're thrilled to announce that we have shifted from the traditional paper newsletter, and we provide this electronically. So this is more eco-friendly communication. It helps us reduce paper waste and keeps you informed. Know that you can sign up. Again, go to our website, faypwc.com. Want to provide a brief update on what's happening with the Grays Creek Water Project. So we have contractors that are working with PwC. They have begun construction on this vital water infrastructure project to help provide safe, reliable, regulated drinking water to the Grays Creek Elementary, as well as the Alderman Road Elementary schools, as well as the surrounding area. So this is being supported with a $12 million state funding. This initiative will extend PwC water to the mains in the Grays Creek area, ensuring water quality meets and exceeds state and federal standards. Again, you can get more information by going to our website, faypwc.com. We have our next episode of Pwc Connections coming up on We Do Radio Monday, March 9th. We're going to be talking about backflow. There have been some recent changes and updates to the backflow process. So we're going to have a few people in the studio to talk about what customers need to know about backflow. See what I did there? It was kind of rhyme.
That was good.
Yeah, all right. Before we get out of here, I would be remiss if I didn't allow our guests to kind of give a closing thought. I think I started the interview with you, Mike, so I'll start this time with you, Keith, and then I'll swing it over to you.
Well, first off, I appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk. It's been interesting, been enjoyable. But the biggest thing is just for the public to be aware of what not to put in the drain. It definitely help out so much. So I do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well said.
Mm-hmm. Same here, man. It's a lot of fun. Thanks for making it easy. And it's a great community, good customer base. Love working at PwC. It's been great for me.
I greatly appreciate you both. Great colleagues. I work with you on some other projects. We've, like mentioned, Keith, we do PwC Day, do some tours. Mike, I've also worked with you whenever we come out to do some TV segments. Mm-hmm. Consummate professionals. You can definitely tell you have a lot of passion for what you do, and I appreciate it not only as a resident of Fayetteville, but also just as a colleague. So keep up the good work, fellas. And I'm not surprised that you've been with the organization as long as you have, and that you have continued to ascend through the organization and be promoted. Great guys. Sharon, you got anything?
No, just touching base on what you made mention about the awards. We know they just don't give awards out, so there's work that goes into it. And just thank each one of you for doing what's right for our customers.
That's right. That's right. All right. Thank you for tuning in to WIDU and PWC Connections. This has been a great conversation. I want to remind everyone that if you missed this, that you can go to our Facebook page at FAYPWC. You can also go to the WIDU 1600 Facebook page. And we've recently been informed that WIDU has a YouTube channel that they're promoting, so you can catch this show on there and catch our segments as well. We have a Facebook page, FAYPWC.com. Well, not .com, excuse me. I'm so used to saying it. But just FAYPWC on YouTube. Tons of segments up there. If you want to put a face with the voice, I've done segments, I believe, with both gentlemen. And I think we have done a virtual PWC day that we still have some clips on there, so you can get more information and find out more about the services we provide. You can find out about smart covers. I know we definitely did a segment on smart covers, so tons of information if you want to find out more about your hometown utility. And with this being the station that it is, I want to remind everyone and give a shout out to our CEO, Mr. Tim Bryant. I believe February is still Black History Month, and he is our first and only African American CEO. So I want to take my hat off for his leadership. Please continue to do all the things you do, as well as our commissioners. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.